Hi, my name is Dani, and I am so glad that you are here. And today I want to talk about it's the beginning of the year. Actually, today's January 1st on this recording, January 1st, 2021. And so at the end of every year and the beginning of every new year, like a lot of people, I have different processes and things that I go through mentally, spiritually, emotionally, where I look at the past year, look ahead to the new year, and it can be a lot of fun, and it can be a good tool for change and just for self-awareness and things like that. So I am in the middle of that process, and I have my vision for the new year and what I want. And what I want to talk about today is one powerful tool that if you go to a Unity church, it's unity.org is the overall umbrella, but it's Unity Worldwide Ministries. I've been to several Unity churches, and one of the things that they do that I love is every year they have what they call a white stone ceremony. And during that time, you pick a word, a single word that is going to be your focus for the new year. And I have loved doing this, and it's always been kind of a big part of my year-end, new year kind of process, is to see if I can find one word that really encapsulates what I want to focus on in the coming year. And so when I was preparing to do this video, I really thought I had my word, and I thought it was going to be freedom. And now that I'm saying it out loud, I am not quite so sure. So here's a little bit of backstory if you're interested at all. If you're not, if you already have what you want, that is great. I would encourage everybody to pick a word for the year. They call it White Stone Ceremony at Unity because what they do is they hand out these, just like a single white 1 square inch tile that is kind of has a matte finish on it, and you can literally write on it in pencil. You can even kind of erase your word and pick another word. But then what I would always do is leave that little white tile out on my dresser, out next to my desk somewhere where I would look at it occasionally and just be reminded of the word. And actually the last 2 years in a row, I had the same word, which was presence. And I guess that worked okay for me, but there were a lot of other reasons why. Tell me if you're interested, I'll go into it. But presence wasn't the best word for me. I had it for 1 year, and then I thought, well, maybe I didn't do it right because I'm still not where I want to be. So maybe I'll try presence for another year. And I did it again in 2020. And just coming to realize that maybe it just wasn't. It was at the time. It was apparently what I needed, but didn't leave me exactly inspired and kind of ready. I'm so ready, like so many people, to leave 2020 behind and move into the new year. Anyway, so I was thinking my word for this year was going to be freedom. And if you want to share your word, please do. I would love to hear it. Share it in the comments, whatever. If you like this video, like it. And if you love it, you can subscribe. And if you want to share it, if you know someone who might like it. Okay, so my word for this year was going to be freedom. And now that I think about it, I'm just not so sure. So here's the deal. As I look at building self-awareness and stuff, I know I'm not the only one, so tell me if you can relate. So about 4 years ago, or a little more, I became, I was actually became a life coach officially in about 2014, but I never really pursued it as a career or anything right then. I just didn't feel like I was in a position to do it. But finally in 2000, maybe 17 it was, or late 16, early 2017, I started a life coaching business. And I had some side gigs on the side that I would do in the beginning, and then I was a full-time life coach. And I decided to give it up after about 2 years. In 2018, I think, is when I decided to give it up. Anyway, I lose track. I'm terrible with tracking things. But anyway, I was doing it for about 2 years, and then about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I decided to give it up for a number of reasons. But one of those reasons in particular was that I was still a single mom. I was the only income. I was a middle-aged person, and I still didn't have health care. I wasn't saving for retirement. Like, I was kind of making it kind of enough to sort of keep us afloat, but I wasn't really doing those things to build, and the business just wasn't picking up as fast as I thought. Again, there were many, many, many reasons. It was more also of a crisis of confidence and a crisis of identity for me, coming to terms with, the whole idea of coaching someone else. And I really truly believe that our guidance is within. We all have a direct connection, and who am I to coach anyone else on their best life? Like, I had this whole thing going on. And so for one reason and another, for many reasons, I gave up the coaching, but it broke my heart. But during those next couple of years, I truly wanted security because, in my opinion, I had gone out on my own. I had tried it, and I found it too challenging. I found that I really needed something stable, something dependable, something where I could have insurance, I could take care of myself, I could build for the future. So I got a regular job. So for the past 2.5 years, I have been working this regular job, and I have built up a lot of security. I feel very stable. I feel very secure. So guess what? Now I'm craving freedom, right? Because now that I've got all this stability, I'm like, well, this isn't very exciting. And what am I giving up by having this security? And how secure are we really? When you know deep down that at any moment you could get a diagnosis, you could lose someone you love, the world could turn on its ear. We all know this, right? We all know this now. What real security is there in the regular job, in the regular life, in this thing that they tell us that we all need to have, this mold that we all need to fit into? How secure is it really? Well, so all of that, though, is a personal question, because for everybody, security means something different. It feels like something different, whatever security is for you. And for some people, security is a huge priority. For others, not so much. Adventure is more of a priority. Freedom is more of a priority. So what I was realizing is this. I was going to use freedom as my word for this year because if we look at the pendulum, I studied Buddhism for a while, and I was very fascinated with Buddhism, and I still am. I think it's a beautiful, I don't even know if it's a religion, just a way, a philosophy of life, a way of looking at life, and a way of navigating life, right? So in Buddhism, they have the middle way. Not to go too much, it's very involved, and I won't get into all of that and my limited understanding of it, but what I take away really is that there's a middle way, and whether you have extremes of one thing or another, that's never the best thing, is to go to extremes. And what I tend to do in my life, and I'm realizing this and know this about myself, is I am all or I am nothing. I am very rarely the middle way. And I think by making my word freedom for this year, I would be giving into this pendulum swing of, oh, you've got this security now, you need to get away from it, you need to leave it right now and go on an adventure, go on the van life, go do what you're going to do, go everything. But actually what I want is more of a balance. I want more of a balance because security is still important to me. I'm a Taurus. I don't know if you know anything about Taurus, but it's an earth sign. I am practical, and I like my creature comforts. I like good food, comfortable, soft materials. I can't wear wool. I can't wear so many things. Like, something has to be soft, or I'm not interested in even putting it on my body. Like, I really do love the creature comforts. I love a certain amount of security. I really do love, and that's part of being a Taurus that actually happens to fit me. I don't know where you are on astrology or anything. I think it's kind of fun to look at sometimes, but that's as far as I've gone with it. Anyway, so I know I need security, because if I went all out in the name of freedom, my mind would be busy worrying about the security that I don't have. So I wouldn't truly be free, right? And what is that old quote, right? That old idea, I think, from Socrates and Stephen Pressfield, that you can really only be free to the extent that you have mastered your mind, that you are kind of the master of your own thoughts, the master of your own life. You can only be free in equality, in balance with that. You have to have that. So if I went all out in the name of freedom, I would kind of be not quite putting the respect and the stability that I need, not giving that enough respect, and not valuing it enough, and then having to swing the pendulum back. So I really am going to try. Maybe my word or phrase for this year will be middle way. Maybe it will be balance. I don't know, but now that I'm thinking about it now, I don't know. But when I figure it out, I'll put it in the comments, or I'll do another video if anybody wants to see it anyway. But so my word for the year might be balance. So let me know what your word is. I love this stuff. I love kind of thinking about it and looking at it and just realizing, because we all have all these conditioned ways of being, and it's just what everybody else says. It's what everybody else wants, until we examine things and hold every little thing up and say, well, does that really work for me? Do I really believe that? Do I really believe that I have to do it this way or that way? Or do I have to have this or that? Or all of those little things we just bring up and we question. And then if we say, well, yes, that is a value for me, and I really do think most people have it figured out, and it's good for me to work 40 hours a week, and it's good for me to save for retirement, it's good for me to look forward to retiring in Florida or whatever, so I can get out of these cold winters, whatever, that's great. But I do also agree with the other one. This is the other, I always think of quotes and sayings and everything, but the unexamined life is not worth living. You have to examine it. Examine it for yourself. Look at your own priorities and things. Look at, if you want to have a focus for this year, pick a word. I think it's kind of powerful for a point of focus. Also, I get so excited about so many different possibilities and things. And if I can have a word to kind of help me refocus, it works for me really well. It serves a good purpose. So that's all I wanted to say then about this new year that we are looking at, 2021. Bring it on. I am so excited. Tell me your word if you have one. Tell me about your new year. Tell me anything. I'd like to hear it. All right, so I'll see you next time. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye.